My field of work is cancer research, and we've been interested in a number of years now in the role of a novel protein which turns out to have anti-cancer activity. It inhibits blood vessel development in tumours and therefore can cut off the blood supply and oxygen and nutrients to that tumour and inhibit tumour growth. All solid tumours require a blood supply to allow that tumour to grow, and because this drug targets the blood supply, we envisage that this drug could be used to treat any solid tumour: breast, ovarian, colorectal, you name it. The protein we've been characterising has anti-cancer activity, and we've been able to demonstrate that the levels of this protein in tumours of cancer patients is important. So when patients have low levels of this protein, their long-term survival outcome is poor. When they have high levels, these patients do much better. So we hope that by developing a drug based on this protein, we can correct the deficiency in the levels of these proteins in cancer patients, hopefully improving therapeutic outcome in those patients. We started our collaboration with Almac because they were very interested in the anti-tumour activity of our protein. They had expertise that we didn't have in terms of peptide medicinal chemistry, and we had the expertise in the biology of this novel protein, so it was an obvious synergy where we could come together to develop the activity of this protein into a therapeutic drug. We could not have done this, without their support or indeed their funding to allow us to develop this drug to the stage it is at now.
Well, the ALM-201 project really builds upon more than a decade's research in Tracy's lab, and we were very impressed with the science behind the project, also very impressed with the people behind the project. And the mechanism by which this works, it's actually a natural product drug, so it's a natural anti-angiogenic protein. And so exploiting natural products is another area that we were very keen on developing. Partly on the back of the work that we've done with Tracy, really in establishing how a collaboration like this can work, we very recently, actually just a few months ago, announced an expansion of the collaboration. So it's a £5.5 million programme. We're actually now moving around 20 researchers down from Almac into the Centre for Cancer Research and Cell Biology, and we're going to use that to identify new opportunities for drug discovery, both within CCRCB, also within the School of Pharmacy and actually the wider School of Medicine and Dentistry. And I think it's really the success of the ALM-201 project that in many ways has really shown that this is something that we should be doing.
Whilst we were collaborating with Almac, our work was really involved in evaluating the activity of drugs, the peptide-based drugs which Almac sent to us. So what we would do is we would evaluate these drugs in endothelial cells and in tumour cells to look at both the anti-angiogenic and anti-tumour activity of our peptides. We have recently been able to demonstrate that this drug also targets cancer stem cells. And cancer stem cells are a real problem in terms of treating cancer patients because these cells are resistant to standard chemotherapy and radiotherapy. However, we've been able to show that our drug not only inhibits blood vessel development, but also inhibits these cancer stem cells. So we think this dual activity should be a major advantage as this drug approaches the clinic. We have finished all the preclinical development with this drug, and we've recently received funding from Invest Northern Ireland in order to take this drug to the next stage, which is to be tested in cancer patients. And we envisage those clinical trials, phase 1 clinical trials, starting in February next year. The people that benefit most from this research are actually the cancer patients. If we can improve therapeutic outcomes for cancer patients, that would just be wonderful.